What's up, guys? Welcome back to Can't Talk, I'm Creating, episode, I think, 15? I think 15. We're back. Corey, Logan, just us today on the couch. And today I wanted to go over content strategies for artists. This is something, I know me personally, I talk a lot about with artists, and it's probably one of the number one things I talk about with my friends who are artists and just other artists. And just being around you now,
Yep.
it's one of the number one things I feel like I see artists come up to you and talk about. We just did that Kurt event.
Yes, that's what all the questions were about.
Yeah, and you had a one-on-one session with a bunch of artists. They could sign up
Yep.
and have a one-on-one session with you. And I only listened to like two of them, but it was basically they just came up to you and asked what do I do? And it goes right to, are you creating content? Are you doing
Yeah,
what do you?
if you're an artist without a massive marketing budget, your only way out is creating content. And the age-old debate is, well, oh, I don't want to do that. I shouldn't have to do that. My music should speak for itself. That's not the debate, right? The debate is whether it should or shouldn't be that way. The reality is that the only way that you're going to reach an audience nowadays is by putting out regular content or spending a boatload of money on ads to get in front of those people. And the content serves the same function as the ad. The difference is, instead of paying for that algorithm to activate like you would with ads, you're putting multiple posts out into the algorithm in hopes that one will take without having to spend any money. So it's just the only thing that any artist should be focused on right now. If they don't have that budget to get that ad spend, and even if it's only a couple $100s a month, even if you don't have that budget for ad spend, you need to get your content together, because that's the only way it's going to happen for you in today's landscape.
And a lot of times the content, even with the money for the ads, the content is what you're running the ads on. You use the content to use that as the
ad spend is just an attempt to make one of these posts go bigger faster. You know what I mean? Obviously, spending money on and I don't mean spending money on engagement as an authentic engagement, but spending money on your post being shown to more people is just increasing the chances that somebody's going to click on it, like it, share it with a friend. And that's what makes a post go viral, is an abnormal amount of likes, comments, shares, reposts, and Instagram tracks all that data, and they look at every post to post, and if your post isn't performing better than somebody else's, they're going to kick yours out of the algorithm and push that one further, and that's how it works. So spending the money can get you those interactions faster, but the interactions are what you need, because that's the only thing that's going to fuel any of this.
100%. Now, what if you said do you have, I don't know if you have an answer for it, but an idea, like if somebody said, all right, I'm down, I'll do whatever you tell me, spend whatever.
Yeah.
What's the ideal posting schedule, or like
3 to 5, or not really 3 to 5, sorry, 3 to 4 video posts per weekend. We'll go platform by platform. So Instagram, 3 to 4 video posts per week, 1 photo carousel, 1 live per week, 2 to 3 stories per day, 1 to 2 story reposts per day. TikTok, 1 video every day. Rarely know you to do stories, and if you can go on live, you can build fans really fast, but you have to get 1,000 followers first. And then YouTube Shorts, 2 pieces of content per day, recycling everything you have, chopping things up into taking the same 2-minute video and turning it into 10, 20-second segments, because the thing with shorts is that it has the most volatile algorithm, and it's in my opinion, the one where people pay attention to what you post the least, so you can flood the YouTube shorts and you can schedule them ahead of time and nobody's really going to have to worry about it. So that's what I would say that the ideal strategies per platform would break down to.
It's pretty similar to how I would break it down if I was going to break down.
Yeah, it's just you need to put everything into the algorithm. Even I don't do that right. Like with my own page, I'll put I'm on like 2 or 3 videos a week, and I don't really do the photo carousels and all that type of stuff. But I'm not trying to sell music. If I was trying to sell music, I'd be doing it a lot more. If I needed more customers, I'd be doing it a lot more. But for me, I'm in a position where everything kind of flows naturally on its own, so I don't need to go through the same motions that a lot of you guys do, because my music business is already sustainable from the work that I've put in over the past 4 years, whereas a lot of you guys are just starting the music business, and it's not very sustainable because there's no business yet.
And I also think it depends on, because we take that as like the base. Let's say that is the base, like the most ideal, but some people's lifestyle doesn't fit that, or
exactly.
But
you have to make it fit. If the lifestyle doesn't fit, you have to make it fit.
It goes off. Yeah, I know I want this, and that's what it takes. But if you look at it and you go, okay, I don't want to put that in. I'm okay with maybe getting less, but I'll post once every other day on Instagram, and you're gonna get less out of it. But you can the frequency and the
Yep.
schedule is definitely key. Yeah, like that's like the pinnacle because the same way I know WaveChange could definitely probably bring in more
Yeah.
customers if I was more active on the social and did it better. But how much I do it brings enough work in for me to get
Right.
what I want, and it's the same way with you as an artist. You might find posting every other day on Instagram gets you a couple followers, and you're happy with the
You don't
growth.
need to be. Not everybody needs to be Lil Baby or Eminem. There's a lot of people that are earning money that you've never heard of, and you can be one of them, and you don't have to do it indefinitely. You can build a certain type of base and then just stop, and focus on feeding the fan base you have. But if you don't have a fan base of at least, between streams and everything, at least 100,000 to 200,000 unique people engaging with your music in some way, you got to keep working to that at least, because that's a sustainable amount of money.
Yeah, I think it's building the sustainable,
Yeah.
like in the same way, comparing it to us with like businesses versus being artists, where WaveChange, I built it up that now we have sustainable regular work where now we
Yep.
can spend time on other things and diversify.
People say
but-
the streaming economy isn't doesn't produce a livable wage, but like if you're somebody that gets 1 million streams a month, which is, I'm not saying that this is easy, but if you're somebody that gets 1 million streams a month, that's about $4,000 to $5,000 per month. I don't even think that Amazon pays $5,000 a month. You know what I mean? You probably get 1,000, 1,200 a week, but you're gonna work your ass off. Whereas if you can figure out how to get to 1 million streams, that's $5,000 a month is a livable wage. That's $60,000 a year. There's people that are living below that, far below that. So you don't really need all that many streams to make money. Now we're talking 2 million streams a month, which isn't that far off from 1 million. Is now $8,000 to $10,000 per month, and that's a really good livable wage. I know a lot of people that don't get that. You know what I mean? And I think that that's what more people need to realize, is that if you just build the streams, you can get paid.
One thing I think with where the shift with the streaming came out and then it took over, where people saw it as streaming, like you said, isn't like a livable wage your way. Off of one song that seems daunting, like, oh, I need to get 1 million streams on this song. That you
Whole
could drop
catalog.
1 million songs and get
Yeah.
one stream on 1 million songs.
Absolutely.
And it equates to stream to stream. So
You can drop
the-
100 songs and get 10,000 on each.
that's what I would like. I just see it as, like, why not? Don't stop holding on to this music. If you're happy with the song, release it, make
Build a
another one, make it
catalog.
better. Because if you're gonna have this massive catalog of 10,000, 10,000 is a lot. But let's say you have 1,000 songs on a catalog, couple projects, bunch of singles. Like Russ is a good example of having
Yeah.
a wide catalog. You don't need to have 1 million streams on one song. You could, like you said, you can get 10,000 streams per song and generate
Absolutely.
1 million streams just off of your smaller fan base.
Get
But
100,000 streams on 10 songs, which really isn't hard to do. But you need the content. It takes work.
Yeah.
People think that this industry is there's no work. It takes physical
It's
work and mental
nonstop.
work to continue to do that.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
not
it's-
just make the music, put it out, and then you blow up after that.
And because it's getting in front of new people,
Yep.
and that's one task. And then once you have, even if you have fans, it's feeding the fans. It's like
Yep.
the same way if you eat today, tomorrow you're gonna get hungry and have to feed yourself again. Your fans are yes, they're your fans, they support you, but you need to continue to feed them, and it's constant work. And that you feed them by, if you're not releasing a song a day, this social
Yeah,
media content
absolutely.
and posting and being in front of people's eyes, and always just constantly
Couldn't agree
finding ways to be in front of everyone's eyes. And social media is where the eyes
Do
are.
the
so that
physical
goes
work
back.
too. Go to the mall and meet people. You know what I mean? Like, go out to events, not shows, but go to events and meet people. You know what I mean? Like, go to shows and give your shit out to people on the line. It's like, people don't want to do that. People are unwilling to do that. But that might be what it might take to succeed, and that might be what you do that might move the needle in the right direction. Is you might meet one person who really loves your music and shows it to 10 more people, and those 10 people show it to 10 more people, and then boom, next thing you know, you got 10,000 streams a month. And obviously, I'm not saying that any of this is easy, but you have to do it. You have to try something. You can't just...
Nothing's easy if
No.
you just like
Nothing's easy. Getting up and it's like, sleeping in late is just as hard as getting up early. You know what I mean? What the time you lose and what you lose to some people is more difficult than how it feels to wake up early. And it's just different strokes to different folks. And I feel like a lot of people think that this industry is supposed to be easy because of the talent aspect to it. But the ones that succeed are not the ones that are half-assing it. The artists that are hyper successful are the ones that are working the hardest, the ones that are working harder than everybody else. And the artists that are unsuccessful are the ones that are relying on their team for everything, and they're not getting very far.
Yeah, and definitely about the view of people seeing it as easy. like nothing's easy in the sense of any job. To get really successful and make $100,000 a year in any career isn't easy when you're comparing it to just sitting and doing nothing. Like even when I would look at, if I look at like my dad in construction, like to work up into a company, I worked
even
him,
the physical labor,
work his ass every day, and he
Every
wouldn't be like
day.
my job's easy
Fuck
every day.
no.
Like so, nothing's easy. That's it. So I find it interesting when people aren't willing to commit the same level of work that you would look at. Like, all right, I want to work at this company and work up and become the CEO, and how much work that is, or be a doctor and go to school for all these years, and you would know that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But then they're not.
I
Won't
think
invest
that
this because
just release a song.
yeah,
and just,
this is the same way as if you committed to being a doctor. There's things you're
8
not
years
saying
of
it's the
schooling.
same as
8 years of schooling. 2 of those years is working for free at a hospital or something like that. You have to do like a year or something for free. You don't get paid. You know what I mean? And it's like people complain about this industry because they don't get paid, and it's just go do something else.
everything.
Nobody's forcing you to release music. Nobody's forcing you to be an artist. Nobody's forcing you to be a musician. If you want to play in this game, you have to play by this game's rules. Nobody said you have to follow the rules, but if you want to play the game, you have to play the right way. You can't play the game your way and expect to win. Like, Monopoly or baseball or the NFL has its own set of rules. If the players are just out there violating the rules on every single game, they'd get flags and penalties and they wouldn't be able to play. And this is the only industry, there's no flags and penalties, but you're not going to be able to advance, which is going to stop you from playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you were trying to become the best soccer player in the world, but you were complaining, wait, I can't pick the ball up.
Yeah,
what do you mean I can't? Like I gotta not use my hands. It's like that's what you want to play this thing.
Go play football.
That's what it is. Yeah, change. Yeah, exactly. Change sports.
If you want to trade your time for money, go get a job.
Yeah,
it's that simple. If you want to trade your time for money and an even exchange,
that's
go
a
get a
good way to
job,
put it.
because that's not how it works here.
Yeah,
I don't trade my time for money. I trade my time does not get traded for money. Whether I'm in that room fucking playing on the laptop or I'm in this room doing something on the computer, there's no work is work. Work gets done. I'm here 7 days a week. It's not easy. I was here yesterday. I was here the day before that. I'm here today. I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to be here next week. I'm always here because
posts are going to go up.
Forced to be here by my own way of thinking. I know that my best chances of success are by sitting here every day. Even if I'm sitting here playing a game on my computer, my time is still better use sitting here doing that than sitting in my house, where my time is absolutely not monetizable. Whereas at least if I'm here, oh, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? Yeah, I'm right near the computer, whatever. Take this call, whatever. I'm not doing this this isn't for the faint of heart. We don't do this for our health. Do this for business,
Yeah,
and that's it.
That's where you got to really be honest to yourself on what you're doing it for, because there's a much different way if I was doing it for attention or for
a lot of people do this shit to look cool.
For attention, they do it to be around, just to be around people, and not even just to be around famous people, just to be around people, to hang out and stuff. And it's like there's nothing wrong, but being honest about what you want, because this isn't like it looks cool, but then like you said, it's not.
I've had some people that have said they do this to get a social life. This is how people make friends. You know what I mean? They go to artist events, they meet communities, they go to studios, they meet people. Some people do that, but this goes back to what I was saying on that other podcast. You could do this as a hobby, or you could do this as a business, and you have to choose which side of the fence that you're going to be on, unless you just want to spin and get nowhere. And it's really the expectation, because nobody cares, and nobody would mind if you released music, once a week and it never went anywhere. But it's like when the complaining starts and the I'm not here and I've been dropping for so long and it's so hard. But it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't. Nobody owes you anything in this industry. No fan owes you listening to the music, and people need to stop focusing on people that aren't fans. If you're an artist, the only person that you should be focused on, and the only thing that you need to be worried about, is how many fans you have, because how many fans you have determines everything in this industry. Sadly, nobody said this is good, but it determines how you're treated. It determines how much money you make. It determines whether or not people take you seriously. And instead of trying to change the way that the game is played, you should just figure out how to play it the way that it's intended, and people would be a lot further than they are.
Yeah.
But I think people don't get anywhere because they want to change the rules.
You made a couple of really good points. One of them is I like the focusing on the fans, in the sense of people. I feel like a lot of people get caught up in somebody they know or somebody doesn't like them, and they get stuck on trying to convince them or prove them to like them. But it's like, the second somebody isn't interested in your music, to me, it's like, move on to the next person. Go to the next random person. Be like, here's my music. Do you like it? No. All right, next person. Somebody says yes, bring them on your stop getting caught up on the people who don't care about your music because they don't care about your music. There's billions of other people in the world. You like we said, you only need 10,000 real ones to really make something to work off of. So why are you stuck on the ones who already said no? Go on to the next one. I think that was a good point. Is focus on the fans because
that's the only thing that's gonna do anything for you.
You look.
Let's just just to fully break it down, right? As a director and as a I don't even know what the hell to call myself anymore, but as a director and as a businessman in music, right? What is, people ask us all the time, right? Shoot my video for free, shoot my video for free. What's going to make us, and asking you this, I'm laughing in my head because you'd really shoot a song that you really liked for free, even if the guy had 0 fans. But from my aspect, I'm not going to send these guys out to go shoot a free video if you don't have something going on. What's going to make us interested in doing a video with you without having to get a ridiculous budget or without being super worried about the budget is going to be what we could get out of it. If you're somebody that I know, if we do a video with you, that 10 or 15 other artists might reach out to us to do a video, then that's going to make me want to do it. But you telling us that that's going to happen that's not how it goes. You don't come to us and say, oh, I'm going to do this video with me and I promise you 20, like I have to see that on my own. I have to be able to deduce that by the comments that you get on your post, by the love that you get when you share something. And if it's non-existent, there's no benefit for me. At that point, you're using me or using him to get something that's not going to benefit us. And if we were to do that with you, it would be wrong. So why is it okay for people to attempt to use service workers in the industry to get a product for free when they know damn well not a single person is paying attention to it, and that person's career or position is not going to change at all by doing a free video for you? At that point, that's just as bad as a scam as me telling you that I'm going to get you lit in exchange for money and then I don't follow through. If you come to me and say, I'm going to get you 10 clients that are going to do a video, if you do a video for me and then not a single person books after, that's the same scam that you guys be complaining about. And that's why I just don't know why some people have such unrealistic expectations, because if the things that people tried to do to us as service workers in the industry, that we tried to do that with the artist, it wouldn't fly. Let you be an artist that you sell 300 tickets a show, you get paid $5,000 to perform. Why would you come perform at my show for free unless there's something really in it for you? People just don't realize that it's a trade. You have to give to get. It's not just take, because then you're going to be looked at as somebody that just takes, and nobody wants to work with somebody that just takes, because what's the point? What is the purpose? What are we going to get out of that? Yeah, we're not doing this for our health.
We're if you're talking to somebody who just, it's about going back to, if that's the case, then you got to go over to somebody who's not doing it as a business, who's just doing it
as a hobby
for the love of it. Because when you going over to the side of treating something like a business, you have to assess it like a business. I could only do X amount. We can only produce so many videos a month, and we have X amount of money that needs to be generated. If they need to line up, because it's a business. If this was a hobby, it doesn't, like, there's no.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so it's just
it needs to line up, because at the end of the day, we can't. Me and you couldn't go downstairs and be like, yo, James, like, James is the landlord. Be like, yo, James, like, I ain't got it this month, but just trust me, I got these videos that are gonna come out with these people, and it's gonna be really big, and then people are gonna book us. Like, he's gonna tell me to get the fuck out. You know what I mean? I can't go to the Wi-Fi man over here, Comcast Business, and be like, yo, Comcast Business, I got these videos that are about to come out with these artists, and everything's gonna change. We're gonna blow up. Just, let me get the month for free. They'd cut my service off, and it's just, people don't realize that at the end of the day, I've been in the studio for 5 years, almost 5 years. I think it'll be 5 this coming cycle, and I have spent north of $100,000 to $150,000 to keep this place open that I am never going to get back. You know what I mean? It's not easy to have a space like this and pay a ridiculously high amount of rent every single month just for the sake of having a place that people can do things. It's not. Nobody said it was easy, but I do it because I believe in having a space this big, and I was here on my own for 3.5 years before he moved in. And that was what I was waiting for. I have 14 rooms here. With yours that we just got is 15 or 16. I had 14 before they came here that I was doing nothing with. Now every room in this office has some type of use in it. The only one that's unused, we have 2 storage rooms. But every other room is now monetized in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's something like this that may not be a direct monetization, but it's a path to it. If it's something like the rap rotations, which is more direct, something like the content studio, more direct, the recording studio, more direct, the offices, like, it's just, with me, I stuck it out because I knew eventually people would come and we'd be able to grow it. And now we probably have, before I would maybe do 20 people a month through the doors, that were meeting with me because most of my business is done online. Now I think we're averaging, 20 to 25 people a week that are coming through these doors to do something. And it's just spreading it. And then in another year, we'll continue to expand. And eventually we'll have 100% of the floor and it'll be other people up here doing things. But it's not easy by any means. I could, with the amount of money that I pay every month for this office, I could drive a Lamborghini Urus, have it parked out front, and I could have a room just this big. But what would be the point? So I could go on Instagram every day and drive my Lamborghini. I come into the office every day. I come into my Lamborghini. My Lamborghini is here. Lamborghini is $3,000 a month. This office is $3,700 a month. I could have the Lamborghini if I wanted to, but I chose to have this office because it's more productive. Some people would choose to have the Lamborghini. There's somebody that lives in, I don't live in a bad area by any means, but I don't live in one of those apartment complexes. It's somebody that's my next door neighbor, 2 houses down, that has a Urus and some ridiculous Benz, but he's renting a house in New Jersey for a few $1,000s a month. You know what I mean? If that, because the house is the same size as mine. So it's like, at the end of the day, like, what are you doing it for? I'd rather have an office than a Lamborghini parked out front, but that's just me. I mean, not everybody's like that.
Definitely get a lot more use out of having the office.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, at least me personally.
Absolutely.
My car does the same. It gets me from where I need
Point
to go.
A to point B.
Yeah.
I just got a Chevrolet, a 2024 Chevrolet. I could have got whatever I wanted, but I chose to get just a normal Chevrolet because what do I need some extravagant? I'm here every day,
and it's not leverageable to me. I'm not gonna get on and stand in front, like you said, stand in front of my car and sell you something.
Unless we're gonna go the rental route, but at that point, that's a business. That's not, you know what I mean. If we pay X amount of dollars for a vehicle and rent it out for Y amount of dollars, that's a business.
Yeah.
Whereas my personal Lamborghini wouldn't be a business.
100%. I mean, yeah, and like it's a different kind of mindset. Like I think it's back to the hobby versus business, where it's like you look at the aspects of your life from that sense, where it's like
absolutely.
I don't need to spend this extra amount of money on something for unless how is this gonna benefit? What is this benefiting it? And it's like, to me, the benefit of like I could walk out and look at this supercar.
Yep.
Versus being able to get another room here and expand and build another set, and that gives me infinitely more joy than going out and looking at my Bentley out there. And
what's the point? I shouldn't go do nothing.
Like, and the cooler thing is that this will snowball and grow, and this can buy as a Bentley.
The Lamborghini will depreciate
would never
value.
give you money to buy this place, where this place can eventually buy a bunch of Lamborghinis.
Yep, exactly. It's just a lot better, a lot more open paths to monetization, whereas I think most people are focused on everything but monetization. Even people that do what we do, you know what I mean? I know people that do what we do that could afford offices but choose to buy cars and Rolexes, and it's to each his own, you know? Do whatever you want.
I mean,
we're not saying you have to do what we're saying by any means.
No, but this is our podcast, so we get to talk about how we do. But yeah, I mean, that's the exact, the only thing I really spend money on is things that are directly, besides like buying weed and putting gas in my car, but the gas would be to get here. It's everything. Like I don't buy clothes like that. The clothes I buy are clothes. Yeah. So it's
got the first sweatsuit.
Oh yeah, the first look on the sweatsuit. This won't be dropped by the time you watch this. Maybe by the next episode, but this is the first look at the fall drop. That's the sweatsuit. This is the sample of the pants.
Got the Patrick Star
going. The text will be changed a little bit, but this is the sample of the pants. But yeah, it's spending all my money. As soon as I get any X amount of dollars, the first thing I think is, all right,
what can I spend?
What equipment am I buying? What can we get another room or regenerate? Like, what's it going to do? Versus thinking, like buying a jewelry, clothing, anything like that. Where for artists it's a little different because that stuff
goes into the image.
Your image. But there's definitely a layer of investing everything you have into this thing, and then I think that's seeing it as a business where it's all the money I put in now, it's snowballing versus if I bought, I don't know, all this buying a new lease on a nice car, it's just I'm burning that money where I have a car that works, it's paid off, and I could put this money into this thing that's snowballing and then generates more money and treating every aspect like that. Where starting the podcast and we could have dropped a bunch of money and bought cameras that are permanently here and bought other lights, but it's like, all right, let's use what we have. We started with the room, the equipment we have, and then snowball it. And
this room was vacant for 3.5 years. when the last podcast was in here and couldn't, hang for more than 3 months. I think they made it 4 months before they left. On a $200 a month amount of money. Just crazy. I just think that there's just not enough emphasis placed on the business aspect of this. And if more people realize that, like just what we were talking about today, I mean, I don't know if you heard me on the phone earlier, but I'm going back and forth with this guy that's trying to onboard somebody onto the video that does like 300 million streams a year, which is a lot of money.
Whoa.
And the guy that's doing the 300 million streams a year is like, doesn't even care. He's just living life. He's the prime example of what we were just talking about. You don't have to be a little baby. He doesn't even like to perform. He's just cool getting his streams that he's earned through Discover mode and promoting himself. And that's it.
And yeah, then he just lives off creating his stuff. And
that's it. He's cool. About to buy a house, chilling. Good dude.
Yeah, because that's where I
hope we get him on, to be honest.
Feel like
I really do.
There's a weird, like, it's a all or nothing almost. People feel like they have to be Drake or they can't do this. It's like, why, if you're okay with, let's say, making $100,000 working at whatever job you plan on working for the rest of your life anyway, if you could create do something, work hard for a couple of years and build something where you're making $100,000 just off of going to the studio when you want, dropping the songs.
Facts.
And you don't got to, and to me, it just, because you could build that, and now you're not having to go to a job every day, and then you could work at being Drake and have all of your time dedicated to this. And, it's not an all or nothing thing. You build a system where you're generating, like you said, a couple grand a month. Maybe you still work your job, but now you're making a couple extra grand a month.
The average job right now probably pays about that, $3,000 to $4,000 a month. And you're going to trade 40 hours a week for it. I mean, what's the point, in my opinion? I don't see a point in that.
I see, that's why I spent my whole life just constantly always trying to do something, pursue something, build something, because I saw it as I'm going to have to do this anyway, so I might as well spend indefinite amount of time trying to build this thing.
You can always go back and turn. You can always turn around and trade your time for money. Your time will always, and the value of time appreciates in the United States. So, 10 years ago, time was valued at $7.50 an hour. You know what I mean? That's what it was when I was 17, 18, getting a job. It was $7.50, $8 an hour. Now time is valued at like $20 an hour. And in another year or two, time might be valued at $30 an hour. And obviously the cost of things goes up. But the point is that your time will always be valuable, and you can always trade that time for money if you need to. But why not, when you have the chance, figure out how you can trade your time in exchange to build something, instead of just trading your time for money and giving it to somebody else and trading it for that $10 an hour, 20, 30, whatever the case may be. Figure out how to grow something on your own, because it's not that. I mean, we were talking about this the other day. $100,000 a year is only like $270 a day, which obviously $270 a day to somebody that's trading their time for money, that's not all that much, but that's 10 $27 an hour hours. Obviously, with a job, you can't just work 7 days a week, but in the service provider industry, it's not that hard for me to get to $100,000 a year, because I only have to find one person a day to spend $287. And obviously, that's not 100% profit, but that's how you generate $100,000, is you find one person to spend $280 a day, or you find 10 people to spend 28, or 20 people to spend 11, or 12, whatever the math is. And that's just how it goes. It's an easy goal to get to. And it's much harder to get there trading your time for money than it is just running through and going through.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a pretty good place to leave it. It's a shorter episode. I'm feeling these like 30-minute.
Yeah.
Because but there might be another episode this week, because I know Steve felt one that's like 20 minutes. So maybe more of these shorter episodes. So we'll see. But this was a lot of info packed into that 30 minutes, I think.
Absolutely. My first appearance in several months.
Yeah, it's been we fell off of having a recording day, and when it's not on a schedule, it doesn't work the best for you. So.
No.
But well, we're back. I think we're getting back into it, figuring it out. But yeah, good episode.
Great time.
Like, comment, and subscribe. The merch is out. The shirts are live now. The fall drop will be out soon.
Take some pictures of this fairly quickly.
It'll be up. Follow the Instagram, Can't Talk I'm Creating. Follow WaveChange, Untitled Exports. Everything you need to follow, and if you want to check anything out, it's always in the description. All links, the music videos, rap rotations, all our personal pages, everything. Come back every Monday, and make sure you turn notifications on, because we are randomly dropping other episodes. So tune in. Peace.
Yep.